Okay, Deborah, we saw some of the tips. And again, the monies that came down from Washington, are the programs in place, are they immediate? In other words, there's something that can help me, the homeowner, right away? Or is there going to be a couple months? Are they going to have to go through, the usual red tape when you deal with a Washington, program?
There's a lot of programs already in effect. The stimulus program, however, is a little slower getting off the ground. I think it was announced in March 3rd or March 4th. And the lenders are currently trying to figure out how to actually implement that program. But again, as Teresa said earlier today, there are a lot of programs with most lenders that will help the home buyer, help the homeowner. So there is some help out there right now.
Okay, I have a question. You may know this, or if not, we can figure it out.
Right.
Ed from Wellington says he is currently in the loan modification negotiations, which Teresa and Patrick spoke about. If he goes into foreclosure, can the banks go after his retirement money or what's left in his checking and savings account?
No.
They can't touch that.
No, they normally don't do that. The asset that's on line, the asset that they, what they mortgage is their home, and that's the only thing that the lender will usually touch is the home, but not their savings and that kind of thing.
That's good to know. And Sherry, another question they just said in my ear from Boynton Beach, they want to know if my neighborhood, every day I drive around and I see a few more homes that don't look like anyone's living there, and maybe I don't have a homeowners association. What should they do?
I would contact Palm Beach County Code Enforcement or the city code enforcement in which you live. They can at least secure the pool and make sure that the home is locked up.
And are you, when you talk to people, are more and more people feeling the effects, or does it seem to be slowing down because the market is, they say homes are selling, still not well, but they're selling, and I imagine there's some deals to be had, especially in Boca. Is that helping turn the tide, or are you just seeing the problem grow?
We're still seeing the problem grow. As the foreclosures are coming closer to the actual foreclosure sale, we're seeing more homes vacated. We're feeling it more now probably than we did several years ago.
Deborah, I know that Patrick touched on people are waiting too long, and then the sign's on the door and they're in trouble. Why are people telling you they've done, they do this? Are they, saying they just didn't think there were programs out there and then they're surprised?
A lot of people don't even understand the whole mortgage process as a whole. So when they get a letter, the letter, really scares them because they have no idea what to do, where to go, how to fix it, if they can fix it. And normally the first letter they get is asking for what is owed that's in arrears, and that money is not there.
Right.
So, how can you fix the problem when you don't have the money that the letter is asking for? And again, some people hope that things will get better, that they'll find a job and everything will be okay. But typically, once you get behind, it's very hard to get caught up again, unless you're going to get a windfall of money. If you're making, $1,000 a month and your mortgage is $500, you have to pay your utility bills. You may have a car payment, insurance, electric, gas to get to work. So you never can really catch up or get that arrearage caught up. But there are programs, again, that will help you with the arrearage so that you can sort of like wipe the slate clean and start with maybe a new payment.
Now, another question I had from Ron in Delray is, just to that, do these people have to declare bankruptcy to get help from these programs? Is that one of the stipulations?
No, they don't. The bankruptcy caveat is used basically if the person is getting very, very close to foreclosure. Filing bankruptcy will stay the foreclosure a little longer, which will give them more time to maybe do a modification or get a repayment plan or something that's going to be beneficial to them.
Again, we do have a phone bank. I know some of you have called in for questions. We're trying to get them on the air. Please, please call our friendly volunteers from South Tech, and the number will be on your screen in a moment. Sherry, you're mainly in Boca Raton.
Mm-hmm.
Are even the multi-million-dollar mansions facing this kind of problem?
Absolutely. Every community is facing the same problems. There's communities where only half the homes were sold and they've got several acres that the developer has filed bankruptcy or gone out of business. So those homeowners have to pick up the slack for all those vacant lots to pay for the lake maintenance or the front entrance maintenance. So everyone's feeling the effects.
To your knowledge, is there any state, federal, county, any kind of monies coming in to help the, the neighborhood associations at all?
No, there are no funds coming in.
And Deborah, what to pay first? Do a lot of people come in and say, well, I felt like I should, pay for my car payment because it gets me to my job and I'm scared of losing my job? How do you convince them that mortgage comes first? Or is that even what should come first?
Well, and that's a tightrope that most people are walking right now. Because you don't know what to pay first. And I'm going to say, depending on the situation and depending on how you can prioritize and depending on what your situation actually is, then, you may want to try to pay your mortgage first. If you can't, you really need to get to a counseling session as soon as possible. The problems are varied. People are losing their jobs with, having a good job and now they don't have one and they can't find one. Somebody gets laid off, they lose their second job. There's just such a, vast amount of problems out there. But, again, come to the Foreclosure Center, get to a HUD counseling agency, which doesn't charge any money for their services to get some help.
And what's the best way to reach the Foreclosure Center? The phone number or just come down directly to the city?
We prefer them call, and that way we can get them prepared for their appointment so they'll have the documentation they need when they show up. But our number is area code 561-822-1575. 822-1575. We're going to put that on the screen and also on our website where all this information will be, wxel.org. If you need to get in touch with Sherry because you're a home association that would love to have some help, we're going to get her information on there too. Thank you both for joining us. Thank you.
We could really talk a long time about this, so I appreciate you getting the information out. And thanks to our volunteers for the phone banks and all of you that called. And a special thank you to the Community Foundation for Palm Beach and Martin counties. They are a big sponsor of this show, a big reason we could bring it to you. We want to thank them specifically as part of the sponsor of this show. Again, we appreciate you being here each and every night for South Florida Today. If you would like more information, I know it was a lot, please log on to our website, wxel.org. That information will be up for the next week. Again, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time. Good night.
The preceding program was brought to you in part by the Community Foundation for Palm Beach and Martin counties.